Joining me on the line, this is really cool. He's, I can't believe it, a friend of my dad, but ladies and gentlemen, former coach of the Kansas Jayhawks and UNI Panthers, Coach Terry Allen on the line. What's going on, Coach?
Oh, not a lot. I know it's a little warm out there. I feel bad. I'm kind of glad I'm off the old coaching routine because it's a little tough when it's 95 and feels like 105 to be out there practicing football.
I was going to say, was there ever a time in the month of August where you're like, God, I don't want to go stand out there all day?
Well, after 35 years, I can definitely tell you yes. All right. I loved everything about September, October, November, and hopefully more, but August was a pain for everybody, and we all are just excited. I know deep down inside of my heart, I know it's August 24th. Okay, made it through August. Let's go play ball.
There you go. Hey, Coach, the reason we got you on today, there is so much going on in the world of college football, and for obvious reasons, you have some ties to the Big 12, so we're going to kind of leave that alone, but you have kind of an interesting perspective because you've been in this in all the levels, and college football is changing, right? I mean, that's the best way to say it.
Yeah, there's no question that it is. But having said that, college football is going to survive. Okay, you look at football on a whole, and the interest in the NFL, the interest in college football, it's going to survive. But through the conference reshuffling, the alliances, and the NLI thing, I think it's going to change. But I really truly believe, having spent 35 years in college football, it's going to survive.
That's kind of where I'm at. Like, I don't think it's going away, but I was talking to a friend in the office the other day, and I go, college football, after, everything that happened with Texas and Oklahoma, and then you got the Alliance and all this, it's never going to look the same again.
No question. No question about that. But let's look at the bright side of this also. Come September 4th, you're going to have, what do we got, 60, 65, 63, whatever? We're going to have 128,000 Iowans at college football game right here in the state of Iowa, watching Iowa and Indiana and UNI and Iowa State, and that's what it ought to be about, college football.
It should. It absolutely should be. It shouldn't be about the money or any of that kind of stuff, or just trying to survive with each other. But, Coach, the question I want to ask you, and this is my thought on where college football is going. The Power 5 teams, more or less, I think, are going to break away at some point, and they're just going to do their own thing. Now, whether it's in the conference form that they're in now, I don't know. But I think those 60, 70, or however many teams are involved in that are going to break away. What's going to happen with all this stuff going on, like the teams like you and I that rely on, hey, let's go play Iowa or Iowa State and make $1 million for our sports department. What's going to happen on that level?
Well, I agree with you. It's going to, but there's really been talk of that, for the last 10 years that the Power Fives, the Autonomy Five, they were going to break off.
Yeah.
And it's definitely headed in that direction. I think we all realize that the NCAA has lost some of its power. So consequently, but there's a time and place for all of it. And I hope that it does, as you mentioned, it's unfortunately about money, but having grown up and played and seen what can happen through the ranks of the FCS and just all across college football, it's not going to go away. Let's just see what we can do to protect it.
Are teams like you and I, maybe, are they really going to feel this at some point? Like, you look at some of the teams that, like in Alabama schedules where they just, they 60-point them, and then, everyone's happy because that team got $1 million to go play.
Right.
Is there a chance that those games go away?
I suppose there's a chance of it. But I don't see that really on the horizon. One of the great things here in the state of Iowa, which is really pretty cool, is that every other year Iowa State plays UNI, and that's obviously very significant and important for their budget. But I think everybody. I was up presenting to the UNI football team the other day, talking with Coach Farley about it, and everybody has to keep their antennas up, and I guess you would say posture themselves for what could happen when it does happen, and what will actually happen.
Do you think people are more looking at the downside of all this and maybe not the upside, like the scary part? I guess. Well,
obviously. Having a son that plays at Iowa State and having coached at Iowa State, you're an Iowa State person. But Iowa State has a great following, and they're still gonna feel the football team, and how it all shakes out. and again, I just go back to, we've been through so much with COVID and having sat through games and seeing empty stadiums. I think I can't wait for the first Saturday in September across the country and the excitement that people will have. I think your stadiums are going to be more jacked up than they've ever been. And I think that people will remember that and say, hey, we got to have college football. Let's keep it the best way we can.
Do I dare ask who you'll be watching on that Saturday? Hey, I said I was going to stay away from the Big 12. You brought it up.
Well, it's talk about a tough one. So obviously, I spent 21 years at UNI as a player and as a coach. My son plays at UNI. My nephew coaches at UNI. I helped coach at UNI this last spring for their spring season, but I also have a son that plays at Iowa State, and I also coached for 4 years at Iowa State. I'm going to cheer for college football on Saturday and hope that the best team comes out of it and none of those boys get hurt.
I was ready for you to say it. I'm going to be going for Indiana that day.
That would have been a good one. That wouldn't have been a good one. That would have been good.
Coach Terry Allen on the line with me. So you know what? There's been a lot of people that have had kind of a doom and gloom thing with this or an outlook with this because, we don't know what's going to happen with the conferences. We don't know what's going to happen with, is the Big 12 going to survive? And is the SEC going to take over? You seem to have a more joyful look at this than a lot of people.
I probably do because I'm excited about what I said earlier about college football. And people love college football. They love the NFL, just everything about it, the game day situation, the pageantry of it. And, if you have it doesn't make any sense right now. What do you call the Big Ten and they've got 14 teams. You call the Big 12, they've got 10 teams. I don't know what you call the Pac 10 anymore. It's kind of the way it is out there now. But again, there'll be 60,000 that show up at Jack Trice, and I'd like to think that when you field good football teams, people are going to come and want to see it. And if you position yourself to have a chance to play in bowl games or heaven forbid the college football playoffs, it's going to be okay. It's going to be fun.
Coach, you ever think about getting back into it?
I did this spring with just stepping in and helping them out at UNI, and it made me realize, gosh, I love being around the players and the other coaches, but God, I hate working 95 hours a week, so probably no.
Is that what the week is for you? Like when you're full blown head coach, completely in 95 hours a week.
Well, maybe that's an exaggeration, but you remember we worked 7 days a week.
Yeah,
and it was nothing to work 12 hours on Sunday and the rest of them through, and then Saturday was game day, which was kind of fun because after the game you had a chance to be with your family. But other than that, you're working, and that's what they're doing today, and that's probably never going to change.
Saturday night. Hey, I remember you people.
Exactly.
Well, Coach, thank you so much for taking a few minutes with us today. I appreciate it. Like I said, you sound a lot more cheerful about this than a lot of people. Everyone's like, well, it's going to go downhill pretty quick. But yeah, you put a smile on my face today, sir.
Well, I appreciate that, and enjoy the fall because there's nothing like college football, and enjoy the pageantry, and let's hope that. I think it was 2 years ago. I look back and I actually, I don't know what you do. I'm not very good with Twitter or tweeting or whatever you do, but I was actually, let me see, Iowa State was playing Notre Dame, Iowa was playing USC, and Northern Iowa was playing James Madison in the FCS playoffs. That's the state of Iowa, and it's a really tribute to the excellent high school football that we play here in the state of Iowa, and let's feel good about that and be proud of that.
Coach Terry Allen joining me on the line. You have a very, very, very safe Saturday, as you mentioned. You have a lot of people involved that day, so
I'm gonna have a great Friday morning, Wednesday morning. A senior dad at 5:30 a.m.
He's chipper, ain't he?
Well, fortunately, we don't talk to each other till we're done because, I think we're both just trying to wake up.
Hey, real quick, has he told you the clown joke yet?
Of course he told me the clown. Okay? Hey, we've been doing this for a couple of years.
Well, Coach, you take it easy. Keep the old man in check, and we'll see you down the road, okay?
Good enough.